Hi, this is your girl Tennessee Cutie coming at you with my review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 4, Episode 3. We are 3 episodes in this season and it is full of hot mess. It should be renamed The Real Hot Mess of Atlanta. But, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt and I'm going to review the series as normal on time each week. I had to take a lot of notes, so I'm going to have to refer to my notes. Sorry. Um, this the series starts out with your girl Sheree. She by Sheree. Sheree actually wants us to believe that she is uh, building a house in a very exclusive neighborhood in Atlanta, which she did not name, as you heard. And she looked like a fool walking on this site in some 6-inch heels. This man is on a site and she's talking about how they're going to demolish this home. They've already started demolishing it now, but they're going to demolish his home and rebuild her a complete new home. And I don't know if you all caught this, but while the guy was going over the blueprints with her about the different things that were going to be in the house, she had to catch herself. She was about to say library instead of library. And it was so slight. And she was like, library is gonna go here. Yeah, catch yourself, because you sound like a real mess. Talk about some library. But anyway, um, I did like the nice little rope necklace that she had on in her little interview session during the clip about the building of the house. But I digress, because really the issue is Sheree can't buy this house. This is crazy. Like, why is she trying to pretend like she can have a house built when she just had her house snatched? And she had her Aston Martin snatched because she couldn't pay her lawyer bill. It was only like $85,000. Now all of a sudden you can build this humongous house with a ballroom. Really, Sheree? A ballroom? I mean, this is just getting out of hand. I mean, the level of absurdness that goes on this show just is just getting beyond crazy. The contractor, while she was doing all her narrating about how wonderful this house is going to be, he was looking bored to death. Like, lady, shut up so I can finish this pretend assignment, so I can get my check from Bravo and I can keep moving. Because we all know that this house will not be built. We all know that. So she has to justify why she's not living in a house right now. This is the whole absurdity of it all. Everyone has to pretend that there's something that they're not just so they can be for TV. And then here we are, the regular old Joes looking at TV, think, oh, they got it going on. But they don't. It's all a facade. And yet we watch it every week and we're entertained by the foolishness. Um, the contractor told Sheree it's going to take 8 months to build, so of course that will justify why she's having to live where she's living now, which probably is fine. Probably where she's living is fine, but it's not suitable for television because you have to pretend like you're living in a high and fabulous life, and when you're really not. So that's what's going on with that. Then we switch to Phaedra and Aiden and Apollo at home. And Aiden is such a cute little baby. He really is cute. I love the fact that he had a little A on the back of his, what do you call that thing that the babies sit in at the table? Lord, this is crazy. I can't even think of it. High chair. His high chair. It had like a little padding across the back, and it had a big A stitched in the back. I thought that was really cute. But I liked how Apollo, when they're sitting there talking, he's not like the yes man that we thought he was going to be. He's actually speaking up to Phaedra and telling her, look, you need to stop feeding into foolishness. And just because people call you and ask you and question you doesn't mean that you have to come up with an explanation or even relate to them any of our business. Like, stop feeding into it. And he basically is putting his foot down. I mean, but what he has to also understand, though, unfortunately, is, boo, you've been to jail. And once you've been to jail, you just get that mark on you. It's like a stamp on your. It's like a stamp that says I've been to jail, and therefore, whenever something happens to me, it becomes relevant. And then you're married to Phaedra. You know, she's a big time attorney in Atlanta, and when someone sees you getting pulled over, of course they're gonna bring it to her attention. Stop acting brand new. I mean, you've been in the joint. Get over it. You're going to have to answer to that forever. It's just a fact. Um, and yeah, he's like, he's all up in a wad about why people are questioning that he got pulled over. You got pulled over. You're an ex-con. It happens. And people are going to question it. Get over it. So then we move on to Cynthia. Cynthia, sexy Leon. Like, why couldn't that work? I like Peter. Peter's sexy in his own right, but that Leon, he is sexy. He really is. And, he came by to have dinner with them and to visit his daughter, which I think is a beautiful relationship he has with his daughter. And I actually like the friendship that he and Cynthia have that's enough to know that we can't make it romantically, clearly. But friendship wise, we have a daughter to raise. And Peter, I kind of like that he has allowed this to come in because I would suspect that Peter is one of those jealous types who wouldn't allow for such closeness with another man. But he recognizes that this is Noel's father and that there's no romantic interest between him and Cynthia, and that he has nothing to worry about. But I liked how Leon was trying to give him a little insight, and he was like, "Look, man, I've been in the Bailey business a little longer, and I'm gonna tell you, you need to let her handle her family, because he probably knows a whole lot about how that family operates that we don't know." And he's just like, "Look, just let them deal with it. Like, don't try to get involved." And Peter's like, "Man, I don't give a flying F about that family. This is my house. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I could care less what they think." Um, and it was funny because when Peter mentioned he was going back into the bar business, Leon had this look like, "Oh, yeah?" Like, because, Cynthia went to him last time when the whole money situation was an issue. Cynthia went to him right before the wedding and was talking about how she had loaned this money to him. And so about how Cynthia and this money and, whether this is a good idea when he talked about opening up this new bar. But I guess Leon was like, "Hey, if you're gonna do it, make it do what it do." But he was probably giving Cynthia the eye, like, "Yeah, don't get caught up in that again. Make sure your money is not tied up in that foolishness." Um, it's funny because Peter can't stand Mallory, the sister. And it's going to make for very awkward because Cynthia's close to her family, but it's going to cause a wedge. When you have siblings or parents or someone who doesn't get along with the other family member, inevitably it's going to cause a huge wedge in between the relationships of the family or in the relationship with you and your spouse or whatever. And I can just sense that this is going to become a major problem. Her sister and mom were very, like, trying to instigate the whole thing that she should marry Peter and hide the wedding certificate and all that marriage certificate. And I just feel like that's going to draw its ugly than later in this series. So we'll just wait and see and find out how it's gonna evolve itself. But I don't think it's gonna be pretty when it finally does come out. Um, we move to a scene involving Kim and Sheree. They're meeting up somewhere. Looked like a rock river that they had to walk on. And again, Sheree is inappropriately dressed, wearing these high heels, like walking through this rock river to the sea where she's like sinking in the rocks, looking ridiculous. And I'm just kind of wondering, since when did her and Kim become BFFs? I mean, like, it just seems very odd. Like, yeah, they've known each other through Nene, but not that they've ever been really friends. And all of a sudden, Kim and Sheree are just like BFFs. They're all like meeting up and chit chatting and talking and having lunch and um, just giving into this whole, notion that they're all like against Nene, and so now they're gonna all team up and be best friends. I just don't. I just don't. I don't see it. I really don't trust that it's a genuine friendship, but it's just being played for the television sake to give Sheree a storyline. Because, like we said, she really has no storyline. And of course, Kim, she's a hog for airtime, so she'll be on the set with anybody except Nene in order to get her airtime. Kim was talking about the wedding and everything, but I thought it was interesting that Croy's mom is not coming to the wedding. It's probably because she doesn't want to be involved in that ratchetness. Like, she's not as on board as Kim wants everybody to think she is. Um, and Sheree reveals to Kim, talking about how she wants to build her house and how she's building her house. And her and Kim like, "Oh yeah, I don't do old. I have to have new. Whatever. Like, whatever. Like, you're not so highfalutin that you have never lived in anything ever been lived in by somebody else." And yeah, we were all like new, but whatever. Like, that's just so ridiculous to act like. Again, it's this whole fallacy of this image that they're portraying is so fake. It's just so unreal. It just really gets under my skin. Um, we then have a scene with Nene and Greg. which I thought was very interesting. It really showed the dynamic of their relationship and how Nene and Greg really are fighting the love that they do have for each other. It's clear that Nene still cares for Greg and Greg cares for her. They have this bond with their son, Brent. Feel like they're just making it work for him, but ultimately I do believe that those two still love each other. And as loud as Nene can get and as crazy as she acts and as over the top as she is, she really did have a marriage. I mean, she had a solid marriage with Greg, and no marriage is perfect, and they all have their ups and downs. But I do feel like she felt like that was the place that she could be the safest. And when that kind of crumbled for her, she lost a little bit of faith in it, and she hasn't regained it back totally. But I know that she likes that. She likes the being in a marriage and having a husband, and she's very quick to take up for Greg even now. So I don't necessarily going to count that out or say that it's over. I think that it's just going to take some time for them to rebuild trust in each other. But I think that they'll be okay. I really do. And it was funny because the son had that little Louis Vuitton suitcase, and I was like, I want it. I want that, Nene. That was cute. I don't know if I would have given it to a 12-year-old boy, but I was like, oh, I want that. That is cute. And like I say, they're still in love, and I hope they can work it out. Let me just jump to, because I don't have a lot of time. Let me jump to Kim and Phaedra. They're shopping. Phaedra doesn't even remember how she just, dismissed Peter, talking about Peter was dirty, talking about he got all these kids by different people. Of course, he's gonna take offense to that, and so hence when he's interviewed by Uptown, he says he can't stand her, And Apollo wants to get in his feelings at Kim's baby shower, which I'm gonna talk about just a little bit, but he wants to get in his feelings about the fact that Peter made these comments. But hey, it's what he felt. All this stuff had gone down. Sheree was saying crazy stuff. And, everybody was acting all crazy, and Peter just said what he felt. And Apollo wanted to jump bad, and, basically it was going to go old school street style with them until they broke it up. But I felt like both of them had to stand their ground. They both had a point to make. It probably shouldn't have been done at Kim's baby shower, but nevertheless, it needed to be done. Now it's out, and now people can move forward from there. Speaking of the baby shower, I thought that Kim's baby shower was just as over the top as Phaedra's was. And in fact, it was funny because Phaedra made comments like, oh, Kim talked about my baby shower, but look at her baby shower. It really reminds me of hers, but it really didn't, because Kim didn't have dancers and all that craziness and foolishness going on. But yeah, I just felt like Phaedra and Apollo took to heart a little bit too much about what Peter said. Like, he just made a comment, he was interviewed, get over it. Like, it's no big deal. I guess I can talk. What else do we have? A lot of little stuff was going on, but not anything major. I guess the big finale of the night was the baby shower, and Cynthia and Peter coming to the baby shower late, and Kim having the nerve to get an attitude. And I'm like, really? Is this the same chick who brought her own alcohol to their wedding, talking about they couldn't afford to have alcohol? Is this the same chick who claimed that they wouldn't be married longer than a year? And the same chick who didn't bring her gift to their wedding. So why do you care that they showed up? Cynthia is a working model. She had to go to work. So the fact that she even came to your little baby shower should have been enough. But then you want to complain and make a comment? Boo-hoo. Get over it. Like I say, The Real Housewives is definitely taking a turn that I'm not sure that I'm interested in. But I will keep watching, and I'll keep bringing my review, and I hope you all enjoy. And if you do, please subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment and or push the like button. Again, this is your girl Tennessee Cutie coming at you with my review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 4 Episode 2. Till next time, bye.